What's going on to you, Taurus? Hope y'all are having a great day. So, a couple of things before I actually begin. I've gotten a lot of criticism about about the horns that I threw up and stuff like this. First and foremost, those horns, really quickly, are from Celtic and much more specifically, Druid mythology. The horns just represents one's connection to nature and to the divine and everything around them, including their own self. So whenever it is that somebody throws up the horns, the highest, or I should say a very high form of throwing up the horns, the occult symbolism of that is one's own love of themselves, the harmony that they live with themselves and the world, right? So go nature, right? And then the other one that I wanted to talk about is the idea of me being disrespectful to people, right? The only way that I'm going to stop talking to somebody is because the person was really wilding out. If I'm trying to do a private tarot reading or any kind of my services and you bugged out, because I've met a lot of wild people who have said said that they wanted to do some pretty wild things. I've had some people that told me that they wanted to cheat on their significant other that they've been married to for more than 10 years. And when I didn't co-sign that and I said I don't advise you to do that, just divorce them, they said that I was upset and I was wilding out because I wanted to do things the correct way. So if I stop talking to you, it's because you were a wild one. All right, so let's not come here and start playing them type of games, right? And it doesn't even have anything to do with Taurus per se. It's just whoever is wilding out. Y'all are goofy. So for you, Taurus, you have the Eight of Cups, the Ace of Wands, and you have the Devil card. Walking away from goofies. You don't have time for it, right? Your life is too important for that. Says you, because who has time to deal with somebody that is dysfunctional all day long and steadily trying to prove that somebody else is replaceable? And who are they trying to prove it to, right? To themselves, to other people? I don't know. And the thing is that the devil represents, that's what they're caught up in. You, Taurus, don't have to worry about that. The only reason why you, Taurus, would have to worry about that, the only kind of case scenario if you have to worry about that, is when you are interacting with someone who has this type of mentality, is if they think this way, and then you go and you get with them, whether it's friendships, whether it's the messed up people that you have in your family, or whether it's romance. That's the only kind of way that you're going to have these people, that you engage with, is if you engage with them, you interact with them, and you keep coming around them. The best way to deal with these people is to keep it moving, right? But their life is in turmoil while your life is not. You don't have to deal with these goofy individuals that, talk all this stuff about the horns and all this other type of goofy nonsense and all the stuff that they talk about with you. You, Taurus, don't have to deal with that. The Hermit and the Five of Wands represents you, Taurus, just have to figure out what you're doing in your own life, literally. The Hermit represents taking a rest from the wildness and the labels, the extreme labels that other people put onto another person, trying to force them, trying to ruin their reputation with innuendos and all this other type of stuff. You, Taurus, are taking a break from that. You would rather be by yourself, specifically relationally. And that's actually one of the best ways to cure that problem, to remedy that problem, is to be single. And it's to essentially work on yourself internally, as well as work on yourself externally as well. A lot of times people only get it half right when they talk about how they're going to go back to school, they're going to do this, do all these things that make themselves seem like they're important. But the one place that they always forget to check and always forget to mark off the list is them internally helping themselves, fixing themselves, putting themselves in a better position. They don't ever talk about that. And the reason why they don't ever talk about that in the first place is because all it is that these people are hyenas. Anytime you hear somebody talk about how they only, every time they get themselves into a messed up situation, They only want to talk about the external, and that's what they talk about consistently. That's their go-to, right? They can't seem to find somebody. They don't work on themselves internally. They don't come up with any kind of internal answers. There's no kind of regrouping. There's no reflection. There's no internal thought. There's none of that. That in on itself is a problem. That in on itself is how it is that you know that a friend, or when you even hanging out with somebody or even getting to know somebody, is a problem. And this is why it is that I say that, you know, a regret is different than, shout outs to Kareemspiritworks, but a regret is different than self-reflection, because a regret is something that a person may feel, but are they actually learning from it, right? So this speaks to how a lot of you Taurus, like I said before, you're being single because you understand that there's more power right now for you being single, because nobody is rocking with you right now. And the reason why they're not rocking with you is because they want the clout, but they don't actually want the substance of what a relationship is. And like I said before, because most people are broken, right? I would say, I don't really have a particular number. But at the same time, I would say 51% and more are broken. And if you really have healed, where you're not really taking things, like, because what I'm talking about, Taurus, is what I've been talking about for the longest time, is freeing yourself from really stupid things like social cues and stuff like this. Because at the end of the day, a lot of those social cues and what you are expected to do, because this society doesn't remedy people who want to act like they're idiots. They don't do any of that. What they do is they tend to cater to those people, and it's this merry-go-round of, like, if you deal with somebody who's dysfunctional, don't heal. Just continue to look for someone brand new and hope and cling to the idea that the person who's brand new will help heal all your past traumas, right? But then when you start talking about not really taking body language too seriously, because people can play in the realm of body language because it's not direct, it's not talked about, it's not announced, it's not direct, it's not clear, it's not above the table, it's not in your face. It's something that a person has to really interpret, but sometimes when you are not really aware of what's going on, it can kind of get into the realm of assumptions. That's where people have all the room to play, especially when they're playing games and they're hyenas, they're dysfunctional. They can play games in that area. And the thing is that the Queen of Swords and the Ace of Swords, a lot of you Taurus, you figured it out. Like, you don't want to be with that. You don't want to have that in your life. You don't want that to be, the specific fixed point where you come back to this situation again and again and again, where a lot of you Taurus are interacting with somebody and this is what they're doing. They're playing games with you. They're wasting your time. They're steadily trying to prove that you're replaceable. All this unnecessary stuff, right? Like, you Taurus are being your lion selves, doing your thing, right? Healthily. And they just going in. They just being disrespectful. They just being combative. They just being wild. They just acting like they don't have any kind of common sense in their head whatsoever. And then now you steadily trying to figure out what exactly is going on with them, right? How is it that they could be so cool, and then the next thing you know, they start wilding out just like that? And then you have the Three of Cups and the King of Cups, which represents how, because the truth is, a lot of you Taurus, you're going to have some people that are going to most definitely try to come back, but you Taurus are beyond that, because you have the King of Cups. You're just going to stay out of it, right? The King of Cups, especially in the Mermaid deck, it kind of reminds me of Oceanus, which is the Titan of the water before Poseidon, before Neptune. Kind of like one of the incarnations, kind of like one of the greater incarnations of Neptune and Poseidon, right? The deity of the ocean. Anyway, right? It was Oceanus before. But anyway, regardless of that, a lot of you understand the fine art of being indifferent and separating yourself from the nonsense of what comes next. And you, Taurus, are absolutely right. Y'all are playing it wisely. A lot of you, Taurus, are essentially understanding that, you know, you are going to remain single for a little bit, maybe a month, maybe longer, but a month to be able to help yourself out, recuperate, regroup, enjoy your own time, enjoy your own company. You realize that you don't have to run out, because relationships aren't 100% guaranteed. They're not. Even to lions like myself, they're not guaranteed. They're not. It's not guaranteed. You have to essentially go after what it is that you want, basically. So a lot of you, Taurus, understand this, and you understand that you're not going to waste your time on people who want to be dumb, who want to be wasteful, who want to spend all, you know, they think that it's more valuable to spend their time trying to prove to whomever, whether it's to themselves or you or whoever, somebody else, that they trying to prove it to that you're replaceable. You, Taurus, know that you're not. So let's clarify the King of Cups. King of Swords, Two of Swords, the Knight of Pentacles, the Ten of Wands, and then you, Taurus, have the Five of Cups. So these 5 cards right here to clarify the King of Cups. Again, you know what it is that you, Taurus, are doing, and you know that the best thing for you to do is to not interact with other people that want to bait you into playing mind games with them, and essentially stay still, stay out of the game, live your life, and just heal yourself, right? And also become better from understanding what you've been doing wrong or where you can improve, or both. And, you know, it's just going to become that much harder for people who would be playing the games to waste your time, you know? Because I'm at a point myself where all I need to do is just show up in a person's life. And if they are dysfunctional, if they are a hyena, they're literally going to show me within hours, sometimes within minutes, how they move, and especially if it's over the internet, because a weirdo is not going to help themselves from being a weirdo. You know what I'm saying? Again, people send me goofy comments, people that I've never even spoke to and I don't even know in my life. But trying to make it seem as if I snitched and all these snitch allegations, right? Meanwhile, I never snitched on anybody. So it can't, you're not supposed to take them seriously. That's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, share the video. Appreciate you.